announcement came from HBO itself. Barry has been renewed for season 4, and Hader will take the role of director for all the episodes. It's a big accomplishment and a big task for him. If we take in mind what happened with season 3, the reins for season 4 are in safe hands. Stay with us until the end, as we have some really great news to share with you. Now let's begin with a short recap. To say that there weren't many expectations from Barry would be unfair on Bill Hader. In umpteen SNL skits and productions, we were familiarized with his unique way of humor and the way he used to deliver it to the audience. Putting everything into one box is an unworthy exercise because it doesn't conform to a single archetype. We know that he's a comedy genius, but man, Hader's dramatic prowess is not a joke. As a matter of fact, it was the dramatic heft within the show and especially his performance for the first 3 seasons. Now let's talk about the storyline. Barry's drama that has depth and direction intertwined with the delightful service of dark humor makes it a fan favorite. Season 3 gave the story another fresh twist that might freshen things up.
You lend him your unique self, and then you let everything out. Action.
Don't be an idiot.
Season 3 was so unfathomably good that some critics compared it to the mastery of the later seasons of Breaking Bad. Nobody could have ever imagined that any other show could hit those peaks, especially if we take in mind that Barry wasn't at that level from the get-go. Battling past a mostly good first season, Barry took time to reach its prime. They had a genuinely great second season, and then they ran into a magnum opus of a third season. Season 3 picks up some time after the second, most likely around a year. Everything is back to normal. Barry is taking assassination jobs off the dark web and Craigslist while juggling odd acting jobs. Sally is managing a seemingly loveless relationship with Barry while running a TV show of her creation. Fuchs is living the life of a happy goat farmer, NoHo Hank is still running the Chechen drug operation, and Gene is spending every second thinking about how he'll take Barry down. So long story short, the powder keg is one small push away from igniting. And you'd ask what might go wrong? Well, everything. In order to explain just how brilliant this entire season is, it's necessary to go into full spoilers. Barry finally got caught in the final moments, which were completely predictable and simultaneously shocking. Barry chose to finally give his much-deserved comeuppance, orchestrating the operation with his dead girlfriend's dad. Gene was the one behind it. The look Barry and Gene share once he's finally in handcuffs is the one you'll remember. No words to be added. The finale just ratchets the whole cast list to the next level, even though the performances they give throughout the entire season are phenomenal.
He knows everything, Barry. He knows you killed Janice.
Hader presents Barry as a broken man that's drawing close to those he cares about and as a man caught in a vicious cycle of violence. Barry becomes pathetic and hits that like button just like you should if you haven't done so already. No, really. He's scary and despite being clearly unhinged from the first moment to the finale's final moments, is still somehow sympathetic. Most likely Hader will be forgotten amongst a sea of other options, even though we have to admit that he should be up there for an Emmy cum award season. In the latter half of the season, Sarah Goldberg is simply transcendent. Her transition from being a helpless and scared victim of domestic abuse to the moments when she became a strong and somewhat vindictive Hollywood personality is definitely earned. Okay, let's stop here and not kill the joy completely and start talking about the potential release date. The first season aired in March 2018 and the second one was released in March 2019. The fans had to wait for season 3 until April 2019. Season 4 doesn't have an official release date as of yet, but just a few days ago, the chief content officer of HBO, Casey Bloys, said that the show will be out at the right time for it to be eligible for the 2023 Emmys. Having said that, it's likely to air sometime before May 2023. Taking in mind that Hader already started writing season 4, the natural home for Barry season 4 would definitely be spring 2023. Yes, we have to wait a bit for one of the greatest HBO Max shows to return back, and meanwhile we have tons of questions to ponder over, but let's jump into the cast list for a little bit. It's hard to say just who'll be returning, but we'll likely see some sort of major actor cast in the show. The story will of course follow Barry, led by Bill Hader, a former Marine from Cleveland. Henry Winkler will of course return to smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. No, really, in all seriousness now, Henry Winkler will return in the role that hopefully brings him an Emmy, which means that the main storyline will involve Gene one more time. Of course, we can't even imagine that the show will forget about the fan favorite NoHo Hank, so we'll see Anthony Carrigan in the dust again. It's a little tougher to predict Sally's, or if you want, Sarah Goldberg's story, so we'll certainly see where it goes. Barry's family friend and hitman mentor is coming back as well. Yes, Stephen Root as Monroe Fuchs. We can expect that Sarah Burns will return as Detective Mae Dunn of the LAPD and Robert Wisdom in the role of Janice Moss's father, Jim. Now let's dive into the plot of Season 4. That's why we're here, right?
I had the same instinct about Charlie Manson. I looked in the mirror and I said, fella, you better get out of that guy's band. Wow.
Bill Hader thinks that there's plenty of stories to tell here. The finale of Season 3 seemed like curtains for Barry Berkman, and you'll ask, how can the story of a hitman continue after he's been arrested and taken into custody? But you know what they say, when in doubt, always trust in Bill Hader. There must be something in Hader's sleeves, because Barry is set to come back for Season 4, and that might not be the last one.
I'm like legit nervous.
If we don't hear from you in 2 hours, we will all take cyanide pills.
What? Ciao, babies.
Barry's former Marine compatriot, Albert, has finally discovered that Berkman is responsible for the death of Janice. He drags him out to the desert at gunpoint, but in that final moment, he bestows mercy on a screaming. This won't make Barry a better person, so he makes another mistake. He gets into Gene Kuzno's trap and storms into the home of Janice's father, where he's welcomed by the LAPD SWAT team that takes him into custody. With Barry brought to account for his defining crime, the series could very well end here. But Hader has other plans. Just recently he talked to Vulture and said, "Well, dying, the story's over, and I thought there was more story." There's only so long a guy can get away with this. I know I feel like watching shows sometimes, they're trying to keep the thing going, and now it's getting ridiculous to keep the thing going. And so I think he would get caught. He's not Jason Bourne or Walter White, he's not a genius. We all thought that Season 3 will start with Barry in jail, and maybe we'll see some interaction between him and his old pal Fuchs. But Bill revealed that it won't be a straight line from arrest to imprisonment. Talking to The Hollywood Reporter, he said, "I love true crime things, so this is the moment and the part where it's like, and then he was caught, and then this happened. There's so much more here." For Gene, on the other hand, after getting justice for his one true love, well, his story will be anybody's guess. Things were going pretty good in Season 3 for him as he secured new acting opportunities and as he mended fences with his estranged family. But could his huge betrayal ultimately go out in that spotlight? But these aren't the only characters in the transition. We see 2 important people in the season finale going through earth-shattering changes. Sally commits murder for the first time and torches her career, while NoHo Hank and former mobster also kills someone for the first time. They both caught Barry's disease, and their story without a doubt will continue in Season 4. So what do you think of these scenarios? Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.